It is May, which means it is time to talk about the 3 books that I read in April, and this is the second time that I am filming this because the first time, for some reason, the microphone wasn't working and there was no sound. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first book I read in April was A Language of Limbs by Dylin Hardcastle. I did the audiobook of this one, which I do highly recommend as well. I read some chapters physically, but most of it on audio, and I adored this book. It is an ode to queer joy and queer love. It is powerful and poetic and majestic. It is full of yearning and just love. It is honestly like a poem to the queer community and the joy that you find in the queer community when you're first coming into it. And it is a testament to how powerful young love is and that how powerful that first love in particular is. It made me cry a lot. That this will go down as a classic. It is just that good. It is a book that speaks volumes. This book made me love being queer. It made me fall in love with the queer community all over again. And I can definitely tell that I'll be rereading this one. I love how the stories intersected, Limb 1 and Limb 2. It stretches bounds and just has such a unique way of telling the story at the center that it just... This book is going to mean a lot to a lot of people. It means a lot to me, but it is going to help a lot of people. It is going to make a lot of people, young people, feel seen and wanted and valued, and I think that that is so important, especially when the future is so uncertain. To be seen and to be valued and loved and to be told that by a book, it is such an important and valuable thing, and for that I love this book more than I can say. And then I've been reading this for maybe a month or two now, but I finished rereading The Hobbit to my kids. I have been reading it out loud, and I think that is such a powerful way to engage with this story. It really enhances the magic and the whimsy of it, because Tolkien originally had created The Hobbit as a bedtime story, and when you're telling it as a bedtime story to your own kids, it really just like enhances the magic and just the whimsical nature of the story, and how important it is, like how important stories are for kids, how wonderful it is to engage with one of my favorite worlds, favorite books with my kids in a way that Tolkien did with his own children, his own son. It just creates this like otherworldly feeling. It really makes you think about sentences and the sentence structure on a different level than you are just like visually reading them, when you're also verbally reading it and hearing the words rather than just like thinking the words. It just creates a deeper picture, I think. And yeah, obviously I loved The Hobbit. This was a reread. But I am so excited to keep reading stories with my kids. They both loved it. They loved Smaug. They loved Bilbo. They thought he was such a quirky little guy. James, my son, said that, what was it? He was like, Thorin's a bit silly, isn't he, mummy? And I'm like, yeah, he makes a couple of silly mistakes, doesn't he? But just like engaging with a story that has such important themes of friendship and courage is so important. And also it's just bringing Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all of these wonderful characters to a whole new generation, and I love that. Last but not least, I read Lucky Red by Claudia Cravens. I borrowed this one from the library and I really enjoyed this. I didn't know a whole lot about it going in, besides the fact that it was a Western set in the same era almost as what I'm currently writing, so it was a research book. But what I got was a sapphic Western that turned into like that classic like revenge Western story, and it had such vivid descriptions of like the prairie landscape and the saloons and the brothels, and the characters were so fascinating and so rich that I really just felt like I was there with them. I really, really enjoyed it. It was such a unique take on like that classic Western structure of a story, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who is looking for a great audiobook and a great classic Western story that is sapphic. Sapphic scenes themselves were great, let's just say. That is what I read. I really enjoyed everything I read, and I think it was a really great month in terms of writing and reading. I wrote maybe I should do this. Maybe I should tally this. I think I've written like 7,000 words this month, which is pretty big for me. I am hoping to up that this month in May, so we'll see. There's so many books I want to read, and that's the hard part about writing more. There are so many books I want to read, but I just have to be patient with it. I have to be patient, and I will be. That's all, folks.